Alright, so working on the old Cummins today. Smoky 1979 here. A lot of this stuff's just basic, and there's lots of other people that's done this stuff online. I'm just wanting to point out my job here. I'm tearing the whole front end down, obviously, because I had a lot of leaks, and AC compressor just went out on me. Power steering pump's been leaking for years. So I've been tearing it apart, and I've got down to this point. And the reason why I'm making this little video is I wanted to show y'all something. So a harmonic balancer, you know, I've watched some videos, heard some things. I knew I was doing all this, so I had my whole front end tore apart. It makes the job just so much easier to pull the radiator and everything. I'm actually replacing the radiator while I'm at it. The air conditioner, I'm gonna replace it for the AC. Probably gonna remove my transmission cooler at the same time. But pulling that harmonic balancer was easy with the air tool. I did put it in gear, and I did chalk the wheels up. I read a lot about that, but when you can get in there with that old boy right there, it just pops it right off. I tried it with an air one, you know, it's pretty torquey and it gets a lot of heavy duty stuff, but not this, obviously. Tried doing it by hand, but it was wanting to spin over, but once you put the air on it, it just pops right off. I could have got a tool to pull my fan off with, but you can actually take all these bolts out right here, and there's one in the back. These you can get with the air tool. I got it with the impact there, electric impact cordless, but the bottom one right there, it takes a wrench, and it was a little bit of a booger to get out. It was pretty torqued down and stuff, but obviously you can see some wet here, oil. I've done kind of pressure wash, cleaned all this up a lot, but you can see how this whole thing was wet around it when I pulled it off, and that's oil. Well, take a look here. I mean, I haven't done nothing to these. Now this one, tight. This one, I mean, I have not done anything to them. All I did was take my finger and touch them, and I'm like, holy cow. So I'm thinking I was blowing some oil out right here. Also, look right here. This might explain why my whole front end's been soaking wet. So I have ordered a brand new seal anyway while I was doing this job, because I thought maybe that could be the problem, and it looks like you can kind of see it gapped up in there. So it's obviously, and all this is caked up wet right here still, even after I've been pressure washing and everything else. So I'm thinking that's going to be my two main leaks, because I had oil coming from here all the way down here, and that's why I thought maybe it was leaking on this cover. So while I'm doing this is an 02 Dodge. While I'm doing this, I am going to do the killer dowel pin, or I'm going to inspect it. From what I've gathered from reading and stuff, that Cummins, after the 12 valves, they knew they had a problem, so they started manufacturing some new step casings there. But your luck of the draw, did you get it or not? I read where some 02s, 01s, whatever, failed, because basically people had a pile of the old ones, and they had the new ones, and they were just all mixed up, and when they were putting these motors together, you just got whatever. There was no, hey, we stopped doing it in 2001, whatever. Now in 2003, with the new 5.9s, they went to a whole nother design from what I was told. So I actually saw some pictures and stuff where people had pulled these apart. But if you got the newer one, they step the inside so that the dowel pin cannot come out. You know, it's basically smaller. That's just the easy way to say it. So I went ahead and ordered one. That way if I pull it apart and it needs it, I got it. Great. I saw where some people just went ahead and did it. I will probably just go ahead and do it. But basically, that is just what I wanted to show y'all today. You know, your stuff might be running great. You might not be having no problems, but you just, you know, until you do something like this, you really don't know what might be going on. So I had no clue. I mean, these bolts are about to fall out. Of course, my leak's probably going to get worse. That leak, I don't know if it could get any worse. I mean, it's pouring pretty good. But then this is the other problem I found. Old girl here, she's looking like she's seen better days. This is the back side. My harmonic balancer, my fluid dampener, whatever you want to call it. That's the back. But the front doesn't look that bad. So, you know, I have checked this before. I have looked at this, honestly, a few times, and I thought, hey, it doesn't look bad at all. I think it looks pretty good. Actually, when I got everything pulled apart, I thought, hey, I'm going to reuse this thing. until I pulled it off. And then bam, it looks horrible. I need to replace it. The radiator's 16 years old. No problems, original radiator, but a lot of people will tell you, hey, they don't last forever. These plastics start dry rotting. And I do make some long trips sometimes up to the mountains and stuff with the family, and that's just what I need for this thing to spring a leak halfway up a mountain out in the middle of nowhere that I don't know where I'm at, don't know nobody told me, don't know where to buy one, whatever. So I went ahead and ordered a brand new aluminum one, and it's going to have aluminum caps, and I won't have to worry about that problem no more. So I'm just going to sell this to somebody for a backup spare or something. But my fan, I don't really see any play in that, but I think I'm not going to put it on. I think I'm going to go back with electric fans. I've read a lot about that, but again, I'm putting a 3 flue instead of a 2 flue all aluminum radiator back in there, so I'm thinking that's going to give it a little bit of help. We'll see. This project's starting to add up more and more and more. You know, I got a lot going on here, but I just wanted to keep y'all updated. Any questions, just let me know. Water pump really isn't that old. You know, this new crap just rust up in a heartbeat. I've only had it on there about a year. I'm not going to replace it. You know, the factory one, it took it, 15 years to go out. I'm not going to replace this one after just a year. Alternator I rebuilt a year or two ago. And the starter I rebuilt a couple years ago, and that's worked good too and saved me a little bit of a dime. That's about it today, guys. Hopefully, you know, this is a little bit of info. It really just ain't that big of a project. You don't have to pull the whole front end out. You can do this work with it in there, but it is a pain to get your shroud out of there and get that fan out of there and work down from the top into there and see all this, but you can do it and save yourself a little bit of time and stuff. It might be a nice weekend little project, you know, even if you're not that great at it, not that fast, take your time. To pull it out, you know, because you've owned the truck for a long time, you know nothing's really been done to it, or you haven't, or whatever, maybe pull it out and just check this stuff, you know, because, hey, that harmonic balancer looks fine from the front, but the back is horrible, and that's just what I need, you know, for that thing to be throwing that motor off balance all this time and making it run rough, tearing something up. Those leaks, bolts falling out, things like that, you know. So, hey, it's worth it to do it, and it's not real expensive. It's better to catch that problem before it turns into a major problem and ends up costing you a lot of money in the long run. I probably should have done it a long time ago, but it's one of them things, hey, the truck runs great, no problems, whatever, just keep driving it until all of a sudden I'm pouring oil, now I'm doing this. But I'll catch y'all later on. Thanks for watching. Bye.